I'm Mark Trahant, and this is Wassaja. Google the next standing rock, and there are thousands of stories that surface. People see a standing rock moment as a part of our lives and our future. Annette Pember is a journalist who has covered Indian country almost as long as I have. We even worked together many years ago at the Arizona Republic. Now she tells a different story. She saw something at Standing Rock that triggered a powerful memory.
Miigwech.
Honey, are you guys packing up?
Just woke up with the sun shining ahead. She raised the sun to her early morning prayer. She went to the horses.
What'd you say?
And laid down some hay. Kissed her mama.
You don't want to lose your stone.
And then she
Have a good day.
I have to confess I'm feeling a little bit nervous.
Yeah, that's normal.
Because I know at first that my tattoos I've gotten in the past, I thought they really hurt. Disturbing other people with tattoos.
and she's riding hard with her hair in the wind. She can already see all the buckles she'll win.
Rolling. Yeah, rolling. My name is Annette Pember, Baba Monaquid. I'm here to cover this tattoo gathering. I got mad love for the folks here at the Ornament Collective, and so while I'm here, I thought I will also get a tattoo. Hold up. I think we need a little background to why I'm in a tent in the middle of the woods in Ontario getting a tattoo. It all started at Standing Rock.
Yeah, I think my mama made a magic. I think she put a little bit of spinach in my bannock while I'm beasting every single season. We're about to wake up and my natives are the reason. Get up, I wanna see you get up. I wanna see you show the world how you never give up. Cause me, I never give up. I'm going.
Like a lot of journalists, I was there in North Dakota to cover the actions of water protectors who were there opposing the Dakota Access Pipeline. I toured the water protector camps and interviewed a lot of people, and I shot a lot of photos. But as I was walking around, I caught sight of an image that was unexpected. It was the Thunderbird woman. The Thunderbird woman looked like spirit writing. Now, spirit writing is an ancient Ojibwe messaging system that is characterized by a bold outline and an interior that resembles an X-ray. And I wondered, what the heck is spirit writing doing out here in the middle of the prairie? I knew I had to find out. I felt like it was a special message just for me. Spirit writing has special importance to me. It saved my life about 20 years ago by helping me get sober. At that time, I was on assignment to photograph woodland art and the artists who create it. They often incorporate spirit writing in their work. My first stop was Manitoulin Island at the studio of Jim Simon, Mishinabinjama, Birch Bark Silver Shield Man. When I got to his studio, I was in withdrawal from alcohol. My hands were shaking and my legs were a little wobbly. Jim was standing in the doorway of his studio waiting for me. He took one look at me and he held up his hand and he said, "Wait right there." He came back with some medicine and he said, "I can see you're struggling." And he gave me the medicine and he told me what I needed to do. Then we went inside and we photographed his art, and he explained to me how he utilized the symbols in his work, and he told me about the meaning of the symbols for Ojibwe people.
Along the arms or on the fore, on the shoulders. That's the land, the spirit spirit within the spirit. They're always here. All you need is acknowledge them and ask, maybe by doing it, tobacco offering and so forth. And then on its back, you see an eagle beak in the eye. And within the eye, there's more spirits along the edge, around the turtle shell. And the circle with a dot in the center, they're all illustrated along behind the people that perished, the symbol, the stick people. It's just representing once there were people, but the other part they're buried is gone now. It's the same thing as when you read one of these books. It's the same thing, but this one's only in art. It's the medicine people. These are the ones that wrote down these symbolisms. And that is where the becomes important to your clan system. Let's say in the Ojibwe on Manitoulin, you got your eagle, you got your bear, the moose clan, and they call the hoof could be a deer. Then you got your marten, you got your crane, you got your loon, and you got your fish clan. So all these have a purpose. And then there's medicine people, and they're like say myself, I'm Bear Clan. I'm most comfortable when my back is against the wall and then I see what's in front of me. It's like what a bear does. Instead of going through a community, he'll go around the community, but he'll save whatever's in there. That's the properties of the Bear Clan.
So I left his studio. I was a little bit stunned. I thought if the creator was going to this much trouble for me, maybe I should pay attention. So when I saw this Thunderbird woman in Standing Rock, I thought the same thing. I need to pay attention. And I decided to look into her background. I found out she was created by an Ojibwe man named Isaac Murdoch from Ontario. Isaac is part of the Onaman Collective, a group of artists who work there. Last fall, I found out the artists were organizing an Indigenous tattoo gathering at their culture camp. And I decided to go because I knew Thunderbird Woman would be there.
So Isaac,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about maybe I don't know anything you want to tell me about this. How is it all coming together for you?
This is coming along great. We were able to have people come from all over the world to share their ideas, to express, the spirituality of these sacred markings that are going on people's bodies. And so one thing that I quickly learned right away is that Indigenous tattooing, we don't call them tattooists, they're actually knowledge keepers. And so there's a great spirituality that's rooted in the earth, in the sky, in the waters, that's directly connected to the symbolisms and why that's so important when the world is suffering an ecological collapse. And so I think that tattooing, just the introduction of it so far in this gathering has been just amazing. And so that's pretty much all I know up to this point.
Te Rangitu Natana from New Zealand has been a practitioner of Tamoka Maori tattoo for 25 years, and he uses traditional Tamoka chisels to apply tattoos as his apprentice, Tash Nakora, stretches the recipient's skin taut. Tamoka, Natana said, is more than a tattoo. It's a link to our ancestors. The designs are like turning your soul inside out.
Only can come and watch that it's happening.
What I understand about the symbols is that those paintings that are on the rocks are alive, that they're medicine. They come alive. Some of them were painted by people, some of them were painted by spirits. The symbols that we wear on our bodies are the same. They're recognized in the spiritual world. And the reason why I say that is because we are actually spirit beings. We're connected with everything. So we're on a giant ball of water, circling a giant ball of fire, with stars and surrounded by universes. And so to think that we're not just moving spirits in an entire spiritual existence, I wouldn't understand how anybody would think that we're not. And so our ancestors, the spirit world, is constantly around us. The spirits exist in the trees. They exist in the ground. They exist in the rocks. We are spirits. We're like this on the earth, moving in this constant form of spirituality. And so why would the symbols be stagnant if nothing else is? And so the markings in tattooing, for example, are a continuation of those sacred markings. So we make them on our body and we carry those. We consider them like medicine markings.
That's beautiful. Did you just get that tattoo?
Not yet. This is the stencil.
That's the stencil.
Wow. This is the stencil for it.
That's gonna look amazing.
I think so.
That's gonna look beautiful.
Yeah. I'm excited. While I was there, I met Dion Cassius, the man who would apply Thunderbird Woman to my arm. Dion is founder of Earthline Tattoo, an indigenous tattoo school in British Columbia. It took about 3 hours for him to put the tattoo on my arm, using the traditional stick and poke method, so we had plenty of time to visit. Dion is from the Nlakapamu Nation, an interior Salish community. Dion said, anytime we express ourselves as indigenous people, it's a revolution. Well, this is like nowhere near as painful as the first one? Some people like it real. This is my first hand poked one. It's nowhere near as painful as a machine tattoo. What did this other woman who was here talking about getting a machine tattoo? She said it was like hot knives going in, and I would be like, yeah, that would be a perfect description, hot knives. This is really, it hurts, but it's tolerable.
My name is Alethea Anna Kokbaril, and I'm from Iqaluit up in Nunavut.
So you made a documentary about Inuit tattooing.
I did. It's called Dunit, Reclaiming the Lines of Inuit Tattoos, and took about 4 years to make, I think. Finished it in 2010, and it aired on APTN for a bunch of years. It's kind of an older film now, but yeah.
I've been intrigued by Inuit tattoos for a very long time. The first time I saw them in a photograph, I was in awe. I wondered, is this woman a shaman? Is she wise and powerful? My search for knowledge about our tattoos hasn't been easy. But on my journey, I've learned a lot. I've discovered that my people have faced extraordinary challenges because their way of life has changed dramatically in a staggeringly short period of time.
this has been really empowering for you as an Inuit woman to get this done. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a process to research the tattoos, and I traveled all around Nunavut and interviewed 60 elders from a bunch of different communities and learn about them. And there's some negativity from some people in our communities about the tattoos. It was really taboo for a long time. It was shamed. A lot of our traditions and language were shamed by the government and by the church, and a bunch of different reasons. The tradition nearly died, and then I think there was a time where another generation of younger Inuit that were growing up and kind of questioning why so much of our culture is shamed and deciding to bring it back. There's a bunch of us that wanted to get tattoos and started working in different ways to bring back the tradition. And so in the last decade, there's been a real resurgence. We went from having one last living elder with traditional tattoos, and now there's hundreds of us that have tattoos on our hands or legs or breasts or face, all over the place. So across from Alaska through Canada, Greenland, and I think Russia now as well. There are Inuit in Russia, and I think some of them are doing it over there as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really making a comeback, and it's a really healing thing to do. And I think when you're planning your own tattoos, you're having to learn about what was done in your own area. It raises all kinds of questions about identity and whether or not you have the right to get tattoos, whether you're native enough, or how you're going to do them with a machine or traditional methods, who your artist will be, what kind of environment you want when you're getting them done. It makes you consider a lot of things. It's not just like walking into a tattoo shop and getting them. It's not that easy. You're not just picking a design off the wall. So it really makes you look inside and look around you and your community and your family and question a lot of things. And so I think as Indigenous people, with so much of our culture being shamed and hidden for so long, it's really a healing thing to do, to consciously think about it and decide for ourselves, to take some of those decisions back that were made for us so long ago, or not that long ago. It wasn't our choice to give up these traditions, and so, but we can take those decisions back now, and it's a really empowering thing, I think.
As our time at the Cap ends, we honor those women who received facial tattoos. Mary Loonskin, a tiny Cree Cookum or grandma, got her chin tattooed. Later, I visit her at her home in Sudbury, where she cares for her grandkids, and she tells me the story of her tattoo.
Me too. Look, it's racing there.
Nice.
I was just showing you. Alright.
I came back from the tattoo gathering, and when I walked in, all the kids, they were all standing there looking at me, but nobody said anything. My tattoo is a reminder that the Indigenous people are still here, and it's saying that without saying anything to anybody. I don't dye my hair. I don't wear makeup. I always had that sense of like not belonging, in just in the mainstream society, because there was always that you're the other, right? But with the tattoo, it's unsettling to some people, and you can see it in their faces. They don't like Indigenous women being strong, because now you know who you are. You look like you know who you are. You live like you know who you are. And, instead of being available for racism, it's you're no longer available for that.
You guys are a handful, I bet, huh? Do you cook them busy? Do you stay home all day, Damien?
Yeah.
Do you help cook them?
Yeah.
Do you help her?
Yeah.
At first, there was a lot of people who would ask me, like, why did I get it? And people really believe that they deserve answers. Like if they ask you a question, that you somehow owe them an answer, explanation.
So, how long had you had that in your mind to do it?
I'm always going on YouTube, and as I was searching Cree culture and traditions, I came across some really old pictures of Cree women with face tattoos, specifically chin tattoos.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought, geez, I thought only the Inuit did that. But then when I was researching it more, I was like, this was really done in different nations globally, which we found out, right, and met up with other Indigenous people. But I was looking for my culture. I was looking for anything Cree, because I wanted to know who I am, like where I come from, and I don't have the information to do a tree or a genealogy, because that's a separation from growing up in the system, right, and that disconnect. But because of the internet, like we've been able to meet other loonskins, other family members, and we went out to Edmonton. The second trip that's when I had my face tattoo in December. We went, and just the people out there. There were the native people, because there's more native people in population, right? And people were, wherever we were going, the Indigenous people were like, I love your face tattoo. Yeah, especially young girls too, young ladies. They were like, oh my God, you give me hope. It's like, holy cow, So you make me feel good. I had Indigenous men out there say, you make me feel proud. You make me feel good about being Indigenous. And and it's not that's what I said about this. You don't have to speak about who you are, right? And that's what the goal is to embrace our culture, right?
So what did you think when you saw Cookum's tattoo on her face? Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you like that?
When we tattoo, we mark not only our bodies, but also our souls. Indigenous artists and warriors fighting for environmental and social justice are reigniting this alphabet of the soul. Indigenous tattoo artists are also using the symbols as they reclaim traditional tattooing. Once a source of shame, the symbols offer a portal toward healing from historical trauma and a restoration of pride. The symbols are alive, and their messages remain as pertinent and powerful today as when they were first created. The images are medicines handed down to us to aid in personal and global healing. Waiting patiently, their power undiminished by time, the writings are at last being taken up again. I feel really good about my Thunderbird woman tattoo. She has drops of water raining down from her wings as she floats in the sky. But she's no angel. She wears strong moccasins on her feet so she can hit the ground running. and she has thunderbolts surrounding her head. When I look at her, I'm reminded of the role that Ojibwe women are supposed to play traditionally. We say that we are the ones who care for the water because we carry our babies in our wombs surrounded by water, and we protect them. Elder Ojibwe women are called Minnemoyan, the ones who hold things together. When I look at the Thunderbird woman tattoo on my arm, I feel really proud.
Ink, Wisdom, and Standing Rock. Standing Rock was only one chapter, somewhere in the middle of a long story. It's a story that's been told over centuries, one about great battles, about sacrifice, and even massacres. The story was Alcatraz, it was Idle No More, and in every chapter, Native people found a way to prepare the next generation and the next story. I'm Mark Trahan, and this is Wassaja.
Tell you otherwise till they see the world through your eyes.